There she was. I said that in class one time when my teacher was counting down. He was like, he count from all the way from 10. And then, I did. I got kicked out the classroom. And he was like, 3, 2. He got the 3, 2, 1. I said, Happy New Year. And then everybody started laughing. It was a little funny. I was a little before my time. Now I think about it, I'm live streaming right now too. But now that I think about it though, I think he wanted to laugh at that a little bit. And you wanna know what was funnier? I want to say it, but I'm not gonna say it on the live screen. I'm gonna say it afterwards. It was funny though. It was funny. It was like it's like what every movie talks about when you're learning history. Good times, good times. K through 12, only if I knew some things that I know now. That would have been real controversial. What's good on the chat live screen? What's good? What's good? How y'all day going, man? It's Friday Eve for a lot of people. Some people starting their Fridays today. Some people starting their weekends today. Shoot, I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. So, let me see. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only. And therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. And also, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. Let's do this. All right, what stories do we got today? You know, we always got stories. There's always something going on out here. So, as I'm setting this up for you guys, let me refresh my page. Let me refresh my page for y'all real quick. Give me a hard time, guys. All right, good. The chat is working today. Look like they updated it a little bit. Sorry why it didn't work yesterday. Why is it scheduled for 6 p.m.? Why did schedule this for 6 p.m.? All right, I don't know. But we are live. Where is it? All right. Give me a second. My eyes. I think my facial one. All right. Like my face moisturizer was getting on my eyes a little bit. It was doing something weird. That does that sometimes. So the first thing we're going to talk about is incoming applicants are more... What word? I always do this. That word. I just learned about that word in graduate school. Let me see. Make sure I said this right. I really want to make sure I said this right. Latinx, yeah. Incoming applicants are more Latinx and Black, according to Chronicles of Higher Education. So right here it says that first generation students increased by 14%. Let me give you some context. Well, they are talking about admissions. They're saying right here, domestic, Southern, and diverse. We are still awaiting to see who Marchigulates. I think marchigulates or marchulates. Let me see. He uses all these fancy words. Marchulate. It's funny. There's a marchulation. Marchulate. Let's say marchulate. Matriculate. I was gonna say that, but I thought I was wrong. It's funny. We are waiting to see who matriculates this fall after an unsettled admission cycle, but we gained a little more insight into trends for the first-year students on Wednesday. So, applicants are more. So it said right here, applicants are more diverse. First-generation students increased by 14%, outpacing slow growth among those whose parents went to college. Underrepresented minority students also rose by 14%. Once again, underrepresented minority students also rose by 14%, with particularly strong gains among Latinx, Black, and African American students. The number of lower income applicants who are eligible for a common app fee waiver grew about 3 times as fast as the number of those who didn't qualify. So it does talk about that. I believe I did pop up the article. No, I did not pop up the article. So I don't even think they have an article attached to this one. Let me see. It's got to be an article somewhere. Let me see if this is it. Oh, that is what I got up here. It's this one right here. So first year application trends. It's who is this by? Oh, Common App. That's who it's by. Have you heard of Common App before, Al? Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna Google Common App. Common App. So Common App is, which is funny because Common App is not even popping up on what they do. I'm trying to figure out what it is or what they do. I don't want to apply. I'm trying to figure out who are y'all. I'm gonna go on their website then. So Common App about. I'm on their website. I'm gonna go overview. Doing some basic education. Who is Common App? Before we start getting their resources. So Common App is, we are committed to, this is what they start off saying, we are committed to the pursuit of access, equity, and integrity in the college admission process. So Common App is about what it says, access, equity, and integrity in the college admission process. Why you should know about them? Because it seems like they're trying to explore all people when they're doing the admission process. 50 years ago, a small group of college and universities got together to re-image the college application process. The goal was to leverage, what's good, G? The goal was to leverage the technology at the time, the photocopier, to simplify the application process. And I'm gonna read this one. 50 years later, Common App is a nonprofit membership organization representing more than 1,100 diverse institutions of higher education. We connect applicants and those who support them to a wide array of public and private colleges and universities across all 50 United States. I always say United States, but United States and 18 countries. So I did not know about Common App. I'm actually going to save them to I'm gonna bookmark them. I never heard of Common App until now. So I'm gonna save them, and that's where we're getting this information from. This is where Chronicle Higher Education got it from. That's what I use for most of my college applications. Interesting. Cool to know, G. And I just couldn't remember the name. How you been, though? I've been pretty good. How about you? Yeah, we on pretty late. Getting used to that nighttime schedule. I don't know. Energy just kicks up when we live on camera. I think it's when the eyes get on. When the eyes get on you, you feel the energy through the camera, like we watching. So you just want to keep going. So, good though. Been good though. Went to the gym today. Did legs. Legs a little swole. They gonna be sore tomorrow. They a little swole. But we feeling good. And end of season report. So this is the 2024-2025 first year application trends. Cool. By Common App. So Common App, they have all the authors on here. I should share this in the description. That's good to hear. I've been good. Thanks for asking. I'll wake you up. Yeah, you do wake me up a little bit. Yeah, cause I be like, I be feeling it, but then when I get on, that's why I like having the light in the background and the lights up there too. Cause I be like, we need to do this. We need to do this. So it gets more engaging as I start because I'll be like, what I'm about to talk about. And then I'll be like, oh, that's what I'm going to talk about. It's some good topics. So Common App had their end of this season report. And as they always say, this is based on 1,100 institutions compared to 6,000 that comes from, this is what Chronicle Higher Education said, but it makes sense. Common App only has 1,100 schools. The Department of Education / the federal aid, but you get the gist of it. They have about 6,000 schools because they got pretty much all the schools in the United States when it comes to the Department of Education. So this one is not based on all schools, but it's based on pretty much 6,000, 1,000, about a quarter of the schools, about a quarter. Not even a quarter really, but about a quarter, if I give it that. So it says right here through August 1st. This is why y'all need to see this, man. This is why, first thing, man, we investing, man. We are. Because this is terrible. Y'all can't see this. Y'all just going off of me talking about it. I know y'all would love to see the engagement. So first year application trends through August 1st. They had a total of 10 million total applications. And then 1.4 applicants, and then 1,000 members. A lot of name brand schools use Common App. Interesting. As a matter of fact, let's see if they got the schools in here as we keep looking at their trend report. No, they haven't mentioned no schools yet. They're mentioning the stats right now. So as we keep going, key findings, cool. I see that. Yeah, there's really articles in here. Okay, I could do that. So the first data we're gonna go over is, which one is this connected to? This is the growth overall platform trends. We'll start with that one. So just reading the beginning of it, it says, beginning our review of end of season data with an illustration of the number of Common App member institutions. Figures 1 and 2 display the total number of Common App member institutions receiving applications in each season and the number of member institutions separated by public and private control. So right here, it says figure 1, growth in member institutions receiving applications since 2015 from 2015 to 2016. So right here, starting from 2015 to 16, the applications from these institutions have went up every year. Applications slowly grow up. But from 2023 to 2025, it didn't jump that much. It went from 1068 to 1097. That's not much of a big jump. But compared from like when it was going from 2015 to 2017, it jumped from 625 to 701. Those are pretty nice jumps. But let's see what G said before I keep going. G said, I'm sure they use it because it's relatively simple to use and it makes things easier for students. Yeah, I didn't even know about Common App. Never heard of it until now. Because I'm reading it, I didn't know about Common App. You heard about Common App, Al? Yeah, my girl haven't heard about it either. I was like, never heard of Common App at all. Like, crazy. See? Crazy. So that went up a little bit. And then right here it says figure 2, growth in member institutions by public or private control since 2015. So right here it says that I'm gonna start with which one is the, okay, I said what the legend at. All right, so private from 2015-16, private went from 464 to current date 698. Public went from 101 to 309. The thing about it is people are still applying to schools. They're getting applications. It says right here, continuing with overall platform usage trends. Let's skip that. They say in general, that's the part we want. They bolded it too. In general, we see that there is a consistent and considerable growth in platform use measured by account creators. 116%, applicants 79%, applications 161%, and applications per applicant 46% since 2015-16. So G, my question for you, what did you do on Common App? Because obviously I don't know what Common App is. So you applied to schools through Common App? As I surfed the website about it, it seems like it's very important. Did this help you get into Howard? Did this help you get into Columbia? Like, help us out a little bit. This is interesting. I never heard of Common App. That's crazy. Definitely gonna do It seems pretty popular then. Huh. While G is typing that, G coming to the live screen. I'm putting G to work already. That is crazy. What colleges do they have in here? That's the real question. Why G? G said, yeah, it's literally just a tool for colleges to collect applications. Wow. Is it? Oh, it looks popular. This looks packed out. They said the world is ready for you. Be ready for the world. Wow. Is this popular, G? Is this like a popular thing? Because I need to cut this up in the video. I didn't even know Common App was a thing. I seem like how I'm supposed to be a higher ed professional and not know about it. That is nothing spectacular, lol. Oh, but I feel like I'm about to loop. Like, never heard of this at all. Maybe if I worked in admissions, I probably would have. But it's used by a lot of top universities. I was just gonna see that. That's what I'm trying to find now. I'm trying to see what schools do they have. They say I can search. I can find colleges. Let's do that. I'm gonna click on that. Let's see. Oh, dope. I found them. All right. They got the Air Force Academy on here. You know, I had to mention that. They got AGS. I hope I said that right. AGNES. AGS. Scott College. They got Alaska Pacific University. Wow. They got... What else on here? I'm only gonna name the popular ones. I'm probably missing some popular ones on here that I probably don't know. They got the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. Okay. They got what's on here? They got Arizona State University. I described it a while back. You did, and you was trying to figure it out. We figured it out. It's in the name comment application. Yeah. And then they got Auburn on here. Augusta University. One application for all the schools that use it. Oh, that's what we was talking about. We did talk about that. And then somebody else with some schools having specific requirements. Yeah. Because we was talking about Alabama doing something similar. Like essays. Yeah, we was talking about Alabama doing the Common App. Well, we didn't know it was Common App, but Alabama was doing something similar to this. And you was like, that's already been done. And I was like, that's already been done? I never heard of it. And then you was probably trying to figure out what it was. And now we found it. They got Ball State. And they got a lot of colleges on here, guys. Exactly, yeah. They got a lot of colleges on here. Baylor University. Huh. This is interesting. Let me see if your school on here, G. I just couldn't remember the name. It'd be like that sometimes, G. Let me see. Let me see if your school on here, G. Let's see if you got your school on here. They got a lot of schools. I'm still in the C's right now. I think I just seen a popular school on here. They got Davidson College. Let me see if Howard on there. They got Davidson College. They definitely got I don't know why I keep saying Howard. Howard must be talking about me. Columbia should be, but things change and it's been almost a decade, LOL. Yeah. They got Emory on here. Will Control F work? Let's see if Control F gonna work. Let's see if that works on here. If that works, that's gonna be interesting. Columbia. Oh wow, it does work. Gee, I did not know that. I didn't know you could use Control F outside of yeah, I applied to Emory. I didn't know you can use not Columbia. I didn't know you can use Control F while you're in your browser. Not while you're in your browser, but for like websites when you're scrolling. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. But that's not the Columbia we looking for. Yeah, they got Columbia still on here. Columbia University, New York. You went to school in New York, G. Did I know Columbia was in New York? Maybe I knew that. I just didn't pay attention to it. So I really didn't know that. You can use it for literally for everything. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Control F. Yeah, I just learned something. I didn't know it was going to scroll down for me. Control F. I did not know that. Didn't even know that. Didn't even know it was going to scroll down for me. Yeah, but there's one in Chicago as well. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that as well. This is cool. I'm really surprised by Common App. Did not know that. So what is an account creators? So growth in account creators. So I'm assuming people who created accounts. When they say account creators, intended to enroll in the following academic year, 2016-17. So starting from, but not nearly as exceptional. Yeah, it's like the B team of Columbia in Chicago. It's like the B team and the A team is in New York. So people who made accounts to use Common App. So right now, their Common App is kind of talking about how people are using their platform to make accounts and go to school. So right here, they're saying like from 2015 to 2016, they had about 1.7 million. And then now today, they have about 3.7 million people making accounts on Common App. So, G, as we said, because me and you was in high school around the same time. So from that time when you was on it, you was one of those, you was one of that small percentage of that 1.7 million that was using it. I'm just being. Now, what that word mean, G? Bellicose? Really? That's how you say it too, ain't it? Bellicose? But it went from 1.7 million, and it said today 3.7 million. It's a big increase of people using this app, Common App, not app, but using it for common applications. Yeah, I'm sure, I'm sure that's the case. I was, yeah, using that crazy word though. Great growth in account creators intended to enroll in the following academic year. Similar, different data though. Let's get to the. Yeah, you said it. Good enough. He said good enough. I'm gonna look it up. So right here, this is what we're looking for a little bit. So remember the main thing we said that Latinx and Black students or applicants, there are more applicants that are Latinx and Black. So I want to see. That's what I really came in here for. Because right here it said applicant demographic trends, which we know demographics can go into other areas. So as we keep going, they're breaking it down by male, female, or X. To those details, that's not what we want. Well, is that it right there? Trends by student, race, necessity. That's a necessity. Ethnicity. Yeah, this is the stat right here we were looking for. Should take us to it. Growth in domestic first year. Growth in domestic first year applicants by underrepresented minority status since 2015 to 2016. So from 2015 to 2016, we saw an increase. So why they say not? Is that not underrepresented minorities? Yeah. So they got not how do you say it? They got not underrepresented minorities, and they have underrepresented minorities. So applicants from 2015 to 2016 who are not underrepresented minority status, that went from 558,000 to 828,000. But the ones who are underrepresented minorities went from 194,000 to 427,000. So everything has been increasing using the Common App, but people are applying to college though. That's a really big increase. Like people actually applying. And then they also have it down here by federal race grouping since 2015-16. This is gonna be interesting. Let me see what G said. G said that's just data for the sake of data. It quite literally a tool for colleges to collect applications. That's it. That's all. LOL. But the best thing about Common App is not having to keep inputting the same information for 8 different schools on 8 different sites and keeping up with all of that. Right, because for one, I didn't even know about Common App, but now students can know about this because this is very resourceful. I can't imagine. I already know it's people that don't know about it. If I didn't know about this, I don't care what you say, G. If I didn't know about this, I know it's a good possibility a lot of people don't know about this still, which is crazy. Is that bad marketing on their part, or they just don't care to reach a lot more people with this? That's probably because your school never used it. Yeah. And like you said, most schools don't use it. Was my school on there for Common App? Real quick. Let me see. Nope, my school is not on here. It's on the school to OP. It has nothing to do with the student. It doesn't. But so the school will have to can you use, you don't have to go to a school to use this though, right? You can use this on your own, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like if you say, well, my school didn't know about it, but I'm a student and I want to use this, you can use it, right? I'm assuming. Because all you gotta do is sign up and use it and apply. You don't really need your school to sign up. Especially if you're coming out of high school. You can't use it if the school you're applying to ain't using it to collect applications. So your high school would have to recommend you for, so you would have to go through like your high school to use this, pretty much. It's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. So right here it says, that's what I mean. No, the university or college that you are applying to will have to use to collect applications. Okay. Okay. But they do got some data on here. They do say growth in the, so what's the point of this? The point of this is we are seeing growth in people going to college. That's the point. That's the point I'm getting at. It's been increasing. If the university or college you are applying to doesn't use it to collect applications, then you will never use it, right? Because my college is not even on here. I'm pretty sure my 2-year, my 4-year, I just looked it up, is not on here. But I bet my graduate school is on here. No, my graduate school not on here either. They can collect that data because, like you said, 1,100 colleges and universities use it. Yeah. And wow. None of my schools are on here. You would have to use it. You would have used it to apply if it was. None of my schools are on here. That's why I never heard of it. None of them. Out of all the colleges I went to, none of them. You would have literally had to use it if your schools were on there. That's crazy. None of them are on there, G. None of them. So right here, we see an increase. Now remember, based on 1,100 schools, the growth of domestic first-year applicants by federal race and ethnicity grouping since 2015, 2016. So that's why you never heard of it. Exactly. That's exactly why we never heard of it. Must be a Southern thing because it's some Southern schools on there, but I never heard of it. Like it just happened to be a coincidence because, well, I don't believe in coincidences, but it really is a coincidence in this moment that I just didn't go to none of the schools. I went to three different schools and I didn't use the Common App not one time. So yeah, so it's been increasing though. It starts with white. White goes from look. Oh, y'all didn't do it for this one, but it starts in the 400,000 range and gradually goes to almost 600,000. No, like I said, a lot of private schools and universities use it. Yeah. And then Latinx went from whoa, it was definitely in the 100,000s, and it made it to almost 300,000. That's plus 15%. They say Black and African American went from 2015, it went from in the 100,000s, maybe 100,000s. It had to be less than 100. It's definitely below 100,000 because it ends right here at 196,000, which is pretty impressive. That's a 12% increase. It's all right, showing some growth. But it says two or more races. They even break it down by two or more races. They got Asian demographics on here too. A little neck and neck. But that ends at 133. Well, pretty much 134,000. And G said some more stuff. G said, I guess I technically applied to 9 schools. I just don't count my state school, LOL. I used it for most of the 8 schools I applied to, actually. All of the 8 schools, with the exception of my state school, used it. That's interesting, because you can just apply to schools if you wasn't even considering apply to them, because it's all one application. Like, might as well apply to the other ones to see what happened. And then, yeah, because that's what they said actually on Chronicle Higher Education, when they said right here that the first generation students increased by 14%, and right here they saying Latinx 15% and Black and African American 12%, which is interesting. But this is just first year applicants, because it also gets broken down by demographics graduating from school, and then it also breaks down actually enrolling, because they're just applying. Like G said, they're just applying to school. But for all my people out there, if you happen to go to college and you might not, for some reason they told you not to use Common App, you can know about Common App. Be mindful to use it, because I did not know about Common App. More of all, that took this highlight away from me. I didn't know about Common App. But if your school don't really use it, you can't use it. But if you want to apply to other schools on the Common App list, because they got 1,100 schools, then it's good to use. Well, each school can set a fee for their particular application. Yeah. So then if you apply to all them schools, then you got to have that money on the side. That's why we have an emergency fund. Because then if they say, look, you applying to all these schools, you applying to 10 schools, look, that's about, probably about what? I'm going to just do it easily. What? If I apply to 10 schools? That's just $500. That's just $500. Tell your parents, hey, put $500 aside. I'm applying to 10 schools. Each application like $50, maybe a little more. Yeah, $500. Yeah. Mom and dad gonna put some money in the emergency fund so I can apply. That's dope. Common App. But guys, we seen that trend. It's really just applications. It's not really about enrolling. So they got me on that one. I really thought I was gonna see like some enrollment. You can ask for waivers, I think. I talked about that. You did. And then right here, it did say right here, to be sure, Common App isn't a perfect proxy for the entire admissions market. It says about 1,100 colleges take part in the platform, a small share of the nearly 6,000 that participate in the federal financial aid. The number of participating colleges and applicants rise each year, so growth rates should be graded on a curve. Common App has been working to attract more low-income students who are underrepresented in its applicant pool. Note that the platform has been emphasizing direct admissions programs, in which colleges proactively tell students that they qualify to attend. that could very well be disproportionately driving applications from domestic students. So, we talk about direct admissions, guys. I really think direct admissions, because I said it on the University of Michigan, is when we did the review for them, I believe. It was that live screen. The University of Michigan had, or, they're doing this direct admissions, but apparently schools about to go to court about direct admissions. I don't think nobody should do direct admissions unless you really just set in stone on one particular school, because direct admissions traps you to go to one school. Like, it traps you to go to one school. And you always want to have options when you go to school. You never know what might happen. You always want to have options. So right here it says Duke reopened its wait list. Oh, that's not even the next topic. That was just interesting. We're supposed to be talking about Reagan education next. Real quick, Duke reopened its wait list less than 2 weeks before move-in day, enrolling about 50 additional students 2 months after saying it wasn't taking anymore. Its student newspaper reported admissions officials say the university decided to increase its class size, and Duke's provost has said it's making more transfer. Oh, Duke's provost has said it is taking more transfer students who will be a revenue enhancement. Now they want to get their transfer students now. This is why I say God started a 2-year bridge to a 4-year. Schools, that's a good idea. Like, students who are transferring in, going to Duke, you have a better chance at getting into the school. And guys, as I like to say, it's always good to do that, because transferring in gives you a lot of better opportunity than if you was trying to go directly into the school coming out of high school. It gives you another chance to try again, right? I'm all for, try again. Like, maybe you wasn't that intelligent in high school. Maybe your grades wasn't that good, supposedly. So you took 2 years to work on your game. Essentially, you went to a 2-year college, had smarter classrooms, your teacher, professors, they can work with you at your 2-year, get your GPA up, transfer to Duke. Then you find out, man, I'm actually a little more smarter than some of y'all out here, or I'm better than y'all, And you got into Duke, and they be like, oh, I ain't see you freshman year. When you got here, you be like, yeah, I just came from my 2-year college, saving money, making money in college, And they'll be like, no, we don't know. We have student loans. And then you be like, well, that doesn't mean we can't be friends. Then you just make new friends at Duke University. It's kind of dope. And you started at a 2-year college. It's not about where you, let me make sure I say this right. It's not about where you start. Yeah, it's not about where you start. It's just a matter about where you finish or how you finish. And most people, we forget that a lot of times. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Reagan education. That was interesting. So, of course, the Chronicles of Higher Education came with a banger on this one, because I didn't know. So right here it says that Reagan Education Secretary lobbies for Qatar. William J. Bennett, who was Secretary of Education from 1985 to 1988, told Education Secretary Linda McMahon that the country in the Middle East has retained him in light of criticism of its partnerships with American universities. He alleged a coordinated campaign of distortion led primarily by third-party advocacy groups, some of which appear to be acting in the interest of other foreign governments. A long-running U.S. strategy of liberalizing foreign educational systems was thrown into the question when Texas A&M University voted to close its 20-year campus in Qatar last year. For one, I didn't know Texas A&M University had a campus in Qatar. Let's get into this. So the meat and potatoes of it all, this is a document received by NSD/FARA registration unit. Not sure if I said that right. Don't get me, guys. I don't know what that is. But can I share this with you guys? Let me see. Let me see if I can put this in the live chat, and let me know if it pops up. Let me see. I believe that's the link. It's an e-file. So if you want to take a look at it while I'm looking at it. So somebody wrote to, I don't know if this is, who's writing this? I don't know who's writing this, but I wonder is it by the person we just said, which is William J. Bennett, who wrote this. So, the Honorable Linda McMahon, it has all the information at the top. Dear Secretary McMahon, don't be sending me. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not, G. I just copied and pasted. So it says right here, I write to you both as a former Secretary of Education. Yeah, I think William J. Bennett is writing this. Let me scroll all the way down. Yep, William J. Bennett wrote this. So we're finna dig into this. Because they just gave us the light version. So, oh, I wish you guys could see this right now. So it says, Dear Secretary McMahon, I write to you both as former secretary. You didn't do a disclaimer, so I got grounds for a lawsuit, I guess. Oh, disclaimer. Don't open that document if it gives you a virus. I got the grounds now. I did say disclaimer. Be careful before you open this. I did say that. You know, you have to play it back a little bit. I said it. I was like, disclaimer. Before you open this, I think you left for a minute, G, and came back. Disclaimer. Before you open this document, it might be a virus. Don't want to crash your computer. See now, G. Now you got me. Now, see, now I gotta retract it. Now I gotta retract it. I don't know what you're talking about, G. It's gone now. I don't know what you're talking about. I write to you both as the former Secretary of Education and as someone who has long cared deeply about the integrity and purpose of American higher education. Some of the stuff we can skip. Okay, he said right here, I also write in full transparency to inform you that I have recently been retained by the embassy of the state of Qatar in a consulting capacity to examine and assess the criticism the country has received regarding its partnerships with American academic institutions. I accepted this role so I could apply my experience and independent judgment to a growing body of accusations against Qatar. Many of these allegations appear to be driven more by politics and international rivalries than by genuine concern for educational integrity. I have already conducted substantial research and reviewed a wide range of commentary and reporting about Qatar's partnerships with the United States academic institutions. Some of the more serious criticisms, including claims that Qatar exerts Magellan, if I said the word, Magellan influence? Let me see if I said it right. Hold on. I'll just do Control C. I got time to see that. Jeez, I'm gonna cut that out. Magellan. I think that's the word. Magellan. That's how you say that word, right? Malign. I'm sorry, malign. Qatar exerts malign influence or promotes anti-Semitism through its educational engagements are not supported by the evidence I have seen. So they sound like they retaining him over here based on some misjudgment, easily misjudgment. But instead, I have encountered a coordinated campaign of distortion led primarily by third-party advocacy groups whose motivations and funding sources deserve far more scrutiny than they have received. While I have undertaken this work transparently and in full compliance with the disclosure requirements of the United States government, many of Qatar's critics have not met that same standard. So Qatar is not holding up their end, I guess, about having an integrity of education. That's what I'm trying to get from this. Let's keep going. Many of Qatar critics are not the same. Some of these groups appear to be acting in coordination with or in support of the interests of other foreign governments. So Qatar is working with other foreign governments instead of working with William J. Bennett, who used to be on Reagan's administration. He was the Department of Education when Reagan was president, which is interesting because do anybody know about William J. Bennett? I'm about to have some bad history because we're about to learn something right now together. Because William J. Bennett, Like I said, I'm kind of exposing myself a little bit. Because most people, you don't know, da da da. Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. So, William J. Bennett is an American conservative politician and political commentator who served as the third United States Secretary of Education from 1985 to 1988 under President Ronald Reagan. He has also led the post. He has also held the post of Director of the Office of the National Drug Control Policy under George H.W. Bush. So we doing some law stuff right now. I mean, we doing. Oh, G said I know that guy. Hey. So, what is he known for? Oh God, he's a big guy too. He's a big guy, big little stubby guy. He is Kansas State University. He attended, by the way, guys, he attended Harvard Law School. He attended Harvard. I don't know when he attended these institutions. It says he attended Williams College, and it said he attended the University of Texas at Austin. Then it says he attended Harvard Law School. So, and he has he has a doctor. He is a doctor, or PhD. But the part I'm trying to figure out is he was on the Reagan administration. So it's interesting in itself. I'm hoping somebody knows something I don't know in this moment. This is the part where we educate each other. He says, I have long been outspoken in my belief that our universities must not tolerate anti-Semitism on their campuses. Institutions have a responsibility to take swift action to expel and remove students and faculty who engage in conduct that threatens or harms Jewish students. I also believe there is a legitimate need for increased transparency around foreign funding of United States academic institutions. Foreign funding of United States academic institutions. Foreign funding. I believe there's a legitimate need. So he feels there's a need for increased transparency around foreign funding. I don't know much about foreign funding. But I know one thing. I know the Trump administration is not playing about that, about receiving funds from like China and Russia, because our American institutions were receiving that. So G right here got something in here before we keep reading. I'm gonna finish this out real quick. I believe there is a legitimate need for increased transparency around foreign funding of the United States academic institutions, and that concerns about undue influence associated with such funding deserve scrutiny. So as we keep going, before we go to the next paragraph, this thing is 5 pages, not tripping. G said he's known for serving in the Reagan administration, right, like you said, and that administration is commonly known to be when American became a... You and your words. I love it, though. I am not going to bash you for your words, G. Keep the wordplay. If I ever meet you again in life, G, and your wordplay is not like this, you gon'... Dang, I closed it out. You gonna hear from me. You gonna hear from me. You are gonna hear from me. I just want you to know that. Give me a few seconds right quick. I'm looking the word up, G.
Plutocracy.
Plutocracy. A government by the wealthy. Plutocracy. Never heard of that. Oh. It already kind of was, but it kind of took off under Reagan. Okay. When you say we're in a plutocracy right now, G?
Plutocracy.
It says a government by the wealthy. Huh. Because if we look at... Fun fact, his brother also represented Clinton in the... Huh. When you say we're in a plutocracy right now, 100% we are in a... This is good history right now. This is good history. So, G, I'm picking your brain a little bit. Why is it important to understand that we're in a plutocracy right now? This is education. Not formal education, not traditional, but this is education. I didn't even know what a plutocracy was. Why is it important to understand a plutocracy?
Plutocracy.
And when G give us that answer, we'll keep going on this. This is interesting. I never even knew about. Of course, you always know about Reagan administration, right? And you hear good about it, and you hear a lot of bad about it. And so it's good because remember, guys, we're nonpartisan. But remember that we should know the whole administration, not just one person, because it took definitely a team to do what they did. So G said it helps you understand how specifically American capitalism works. Interesting. Appreciate that. I didn't expect you to get a short answer. I'll be honest with you, G. I thought you was going to give me like a thesis. And everyone always talks about money and politics. They do. They do. They do. Qatar has drawn attention in this context because of the large dollar amounts reported by several United States universities. If you see the data, you'll see how bad lobbying is in America. I studied lobbying in undergraduate. LOL, not a thesis. Exactly. I thought you was going to write a thesis. But, I studied lobbying in undergraduate. I didn't get the full gist of it. Still kind of like, because I never took the time to sit down and understand it fully. But imagine the money that gets passed around that we don't know about. I don't want to think about that. It's so much money. There's so much money in this country. I can speak for other countries, but we are going to get into something that's interesting. Lobbying is just what we see. Keep cooking, G. Keep going. You got the floor right now. Keep going, G. Keep going. G said lobbying is what we see. I quote. G said lobbying is just what we see. That's when corporations pay Congress to do what they want. Or not do. Keep going, G. Talk to him, G. Keep going, G. You cooking right now. Come on, G. This is good. Lobbying. We talking about lobbying right now. G said that's when corporations pay Congress to do what they want or not do. In all honesty, I quote, in America, lobbies are more likely to see and hear from your congressperson than you are. That's interesting. That's interesting. Lobbying is what people mean we need to get money out of politics. Lobbying is what people mean. Yeah. Lobbying is what people mean. Well, for the most part. I love that. Learning right now. So Qatar has drawn attention in this contest because of the large dollar amounts reported by several United States universities to the Department of Education under their Section 117 requirements. Once again, let's read that. I'm going to put that in the chat. That is interesting. That's interesting. Lobbying is what people mean when they say we need to get money out of the politics. That's impossible. Pessimistic. Being jaded a little bit. Being jaded. I'm being jaded right now. So I just read that right there. It says Qatar has drawn attention in this contest because of the large dollar amounts. Qatar just gave the president a jet. They did. That's lobbying. Interesting. They did just give the president a jet. They did. We can Google that. They did just give the president a jet. Qatar has drawn attention in this context because of the large dollar amounts reported by several United States universities to the Department of Education. Unfortunately, some critics have misrepresented these payments by Qatar to the universities as spending directed at United States campuses and by drawing unfounding connections between those amounts and the presence of lobbying is organized and legal bribery. Oh, it's a fancy word to put on it, lobbying. So it sounds like they're doing lobbying in higher education, which is interesting. This is interesting. Because Qatar has been sending money or spending Qatar has been, it says right here, unfortunately, some critics have misrepresented these payments by Qatar. It says to the universities as spending directed at United States. Exactly. Yeah, it gets deeper and deeper. It gets deeper and deeper, guys. And we ain't trying to be no conspiracy, but we just reading the document. Literally. William J. Bennett wrote this to Secretary Linda McMahon. And we're just reading the document. What does this have to do with you going to college? Pretty much every industry has lobby for some kind. Right. So what does this have to do with me going to college, Henry? It means you definitely need to go start at a 2-year. Because they're not justifying. Look, if they're getting money from different countries, U.S. campuses, mostly they're literally saying, William J. Bennett, I quote, literally says, dollar amounts reported by several United States universities. Large dollar amounts reported by several United States universities. Universities have money, guys. They're dealing with other countries. They have money. They have colleges in test. Literally, a college had what school was that? Literally, Texas A&M University had a college in Qatar. I'm not doubting it. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. What I'm saying is, guys, they're jacking up your prices. My whole thing is bump the politics. I can care less about that. I can care less about the conspiracies. I can care less about all the other things. When it comes to you saving money in higher education, they have schools in different countries, which means they have money in different currency, which keeps their money protected and diversified. So if they doing that, why are they raising your prices in college, universities? It's building my case of more why you should start at a 2-year versus a 4-year. It's building my case clearly right now. And guys, I wasn't even reading this stuff when I was an undergraduate. You got this right here. This just proves more of that. Like, bump all the fancy words and all this other stuff they talking about. Like, I could care less about, like really the lobbying. I'm talking about it with G, of course, the person in the live chat. I'm talking to G about it because good conversation, but it's just showing why we should have these conversations and pay attention. Because if you know this and you realize this, then you can see the pattern and realize like it really don't matter where you go to school. It matters where you go to school, but then again, on a deeper level, when you know certain things, it kind of doesn't. Just saying, knowledge is power. So G said, I'm gonna start from G said pretty much whoever has the most money to give wins. China actually got into some trouble not too long ago doing something similar. They did, and the Trump administration did something about that. They actually just got in trouble about something like that. Yes, that's what I was talking about, G. And then, but for different reasons. Oh, I'm sure you haven't heard of the Confucius Institute. No, I have not heard of that. I'm gonna look it up though, real quick. We cooking tonight. See, that's the education I be liking right here. I can't get these conversations, G. That's why I come on the live screen and talk to you about it. Definitely started 2-year, bridge to 4-year. Like and subscribe. You in here. You stop by for a little bit. I appreciate you. You definitely. I Googled it. So right now I'm looking at Confucius Institute. It's a non-governmental organization. Confucius Institute. Confucius? Am I saying that right? Confucius Institutes are public educational and cultural promotion programs of the state of China. The stated aim of the program is to promote Chinese language and culture, support local Chinese teaching internationally, and facilitate cultural exchanges. No, I never heard of this. It's headquartered in Beijing, China. Interesting. It was founded in 2004. I never heard of this. I never heard that, G. I never heard that. Look up controversy. Let me see. I got my source right there. I did. I got my sources right here. I got my one main source from. I'm gonna tell you my source though. It's a government website though. We'll come back to that. Come back to that. I'm surprised Google AI didn't tell you much about it. It did. It did. It did. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it out loud. Don't want to get censored a little bit. One of the perks about not having the full setup yet. One of the best perks about not having the full setup yet. Because I wouldn't have. I'll be honest, G. If you had told me to look it up, I wouldn't have looked it up. If you could see my screen, like of course I could make my screen come and go. I don't blame you. I would have of course took the screen away, but right now. So as we keep going through this William J. Bennett document, right here, scamming through a little bit. Another important part. Check this out. Check this out, G. Check this out, G. Check this out, G. Check this out. Check this out. It says, in reality, the vast majority of these funds represents Qatar's long-term investment in building its own educational infrastructure. Central to this effort is Education City, a major campus complex in, wow. Oh, I hope this all can fit in here. All right, I can do that. Bro, we are cooking tonight, G. Like, if you are not listening to this live screen, hey, you just need to go, I don't know. Because this is some deep stuff right here. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's some heavy reading. Hold on real quick, G. It's more schools. Hold on. What's the last school I had on there? Mellon. This the last bit right here. So, all right. So they're saying right here. You heard of this too? This is a country. I think this is part of. It's definitely in a country. It's definitely a country. Yeah, it's a capital of Qatar, Doha. How you say that? How you say that? How you say that? Hey, how you say that? How you say that? That's what they're trying to be. That's what they're trying to build these at right here. That's what they're trying to build these at. They're trying to build it in the capital of Qatar. Qatar, like many other Gulf states, are trying to entice specialized industries to come and do research and create technology and products. Yeah, I've heard of it. I hope I'm saying it right, Doha. So they're saying right here, they're trying to build an education city, and then a major campus complex in Doha that houses branch of campuses of leading American universities, including Georgetown, Northwestern. It's funny, guys, because we did a review on Northwestern, and I definitely gave Northwestern a B or A, because I was like, whoa. On the college scorecard, Northwestern had a high rating. It had a very high rating on return on investment if you went there. So they're trying to add Georgetown. So Qatar wants Georgetown, Northwestern, Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, and G just said, we just spoke on that yesterday. You said you heard of Carnegie Mellon, Virginia Commonwealth, and Texas A&M. But Texas A&M just shut down after being there for 20 years, which is interesting. Wow. And he said these partnerships reflect Qatar's effort to import American academic institutions and standards to its own country. Wow. The expenditures in question are Therefore, not an attempt to influence U.S. campuses, but rather a commitment to providing Qatar citizens with access to world-class higher education. So wait a minute. Are there? Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoo, ho. Let me see what Colonel Higher Education just said. Hold on. What is going on right now? So G said, the capital is essentially the main city. Like many of the Gulf states, they have a central city surrounded by smaller cities. Of course, yeah. Yeah, Northwestern isn't bad, just expensive, right? This is interesting. Why is it a problem though? Now, just a tip, highly selective schools tend to be good schools. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Highly selective. Yeah. That's what LinkedIn, when they're doing their top schools, like how these are, they said highly selective schools. But the thing about this, why is this, what's happening right now? He said he said they retained him. William J. Bennett said they retained him. And then this caused Texas A&M to be closed, even though it was 20, like they had their campus over there for 20 years. What is going on? What is going on in Qatar, man? What is going on right now? I didn't expect to get this deep. What is going on in Qatar? Qatar in education, man. He's been paid is what that means. Yeah, he's being paid, but they're playing a bigger game right now, G. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that he's lobbying on their behalf is what it sounds like, LOL. Yeah. And then I didn't know that we had, like, I seen, what's that school called? NYU. I seen NYU, New York University. I know they have a campus it's out the country. They have a campus, of course, in the States, of course. And they have a campus in another country as well. But I seen it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it because I was like, maybe studying abroad. But it's like, it's Qatar. I haven't been to Qatar before, but I do know Colombia has one in China. Interesting. Now we're getting into global education now. We're talking about global education now. Dang. Interesting. It's shifting my perspective a little bit. You're giving me a lot of ideas for the future. Oh my goodness, G. Man, I see where you're going now. Yeah, we are creating a lane that nobody else is doing right now. I see. I actually have a friend who was part of the inaugural class, and he's from Turkey. That is interesting, man. Gee, we gotta get more of these people in here, man. This is getting interesting. When I'm in a learning awe moment right now. I'm like in awe right now. Like, I did not know about this. This is something I'll go back to class and talk about. Like, this is interesting. So I'm gonna start. I told you. Yeah, we getting deep right now, man. Wow. All right, we're gonna stop there. He was in Duke's China campus inaugurated AI class. Duke's China. When you say Duke's, do you mean like Duke University China class? That's what you mean? Like, not AI. Oh. When you say he was in Duke's China campus, do you mean like Duke? What you mean Duke's China campus? Like Duke University? Yeah, Duke University also has a partner campus in China. Wow. Wow. Duke too. We playing a bigger game right now. This is bigger. But once again, guys, if they getting money from different currencies, I'm not sure how this all is niched up or tied up. And he was in that, and oh wow, inaugural. That is crazy. I like that. But guys, if you want to read that, I'm pretty sure you can find that document. A lot of universities have global centers. Yeah, not my graduate school, not Georgia State, because I would have known that. I probably wouldn't be at shop right now. Kind of upset right now. I appreciate that. I really do. So this document that was wrote by William J. Bennett, link it in the chat. I'm not linking nothing in the chat for you, G. No, you talk about some give me a virus. Now I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I will see if it's on the Department of Education. Let me see if it's on the Department of Education. Because he wrote it to Linda McMahon. So it's got to be public record. Let me see. I'm going to Google it. Try Googling it. And see if you can find it that way. I'm going to type his name. William J. Bennett. William J. Bennett writes writes to Linda. A little bit, G. Okay, so yeah, guys, you can go find it. Just type in William J. Bennett writes to Linda McMahon, and it's an open letter. It'll take you right to it, I think. I'm gonna click on it. Let me see. Is this the same thing? Okay. Nope, it did not take me to it. They're talking about it. Only preparing you for the future. You are preparing me for the future. This open letter, though, I got some one of a kind information. I'll tell you that, because I'm not even seeing it on the That's why I be giving you a hard time, LOL. Yeah, I'm not seeing this letter, so I got some special information, guys, because I'm not seeing the letter. So you just have to enjoy the letter from me talking about it and reading it out loud. But I'm gonna stop there on that letter though, because that letter was getting deep, and I know me, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if y'all like this, I will go down a rabbit hole. Yes, I will talk about that. That would be the only. We will talk about that segment the rest of the night, and I have my first day of work tomorrow, so try to do this right. Try to do this right. What we at right now? An hour and 10. All right, hour and 10. Let's talk about Iowa. Iowa is on here. Let's talk about Iowa. So Iowa Regents rewrite academic freedom policy. I found it though. That's what I'm talking about, G. That's why you're a researcher. That's why you're a researcher. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's why you're a researcher, G. I'm glad you found it. So that's some dope information. Are you excited for tomorrow? I'm a little bit excited. A little bit. You know, got to put on the traditional face, you know, G. As you can see, I'm a little more freelance, but got to be a traditional person tomorrow. Got to play by the rules a little more, you know, a little more traditional. Got to play local games, you know, deal with local things, not, you know, aiming for better and bigger, you know. So got to deal with mindsets that have to be unlocked. So it's gonna be interesting though. It's gonna be interesting. And I say this, doing these live screens, I learned a lot more, as I said before. So when school start back, I'm gonna be on one. LOL, do what you got to do until you get to where you want to be. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to do. Just go there. Hey. Oh, and G, I'm gonna tell you now, since you're like my number one, I'm gonna tell you. So I talked to my girl about it. I'm gonna come on. So the schedule to come on, the goal is gonna be to come on Tuesdays Thursdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So, of course, it's going to be hard to come on 5 days a week like we've been doing because, of course, I wasn't working or having school. So, now I start school August 25th, and then I'll be working too. So I had to write, stay up late, read papers for school or whatever, that jazz. So we'll be able to live stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then that actually helps me out because I do work out. Do your thing, 21. Okay. So, yeah, those are gonna be the 3 days we come on during the week, and that helps me keep my gym schedule good. That helps me keep my school schedule good, and of course, weekends gonna be my school weekends. Normally researching. G. Now maybe bust out the dance move, G. I'm gonna have to clip that. Make sure I put that out there. We the only higher education channel that dance. So, yeah, we're gonna be good though. We here for it's the marathon. Then when school over, man, I'm gonna be like, you watch anime? You watch anime, G? It's like Naruto. What's his name? Not Naruto, but Lee. His name Lee. Lee, the one that had the little buzz cut. He was real fast. It's like him when he took off the little weights. That's how I'm gonna be. I don't even watch anime, but I like that little part. When I graduate from graduate school this semester, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be me like dropping the weights. All right. I ain't playing with y'all no more. I don't gotta worry about college. This the thesis right here. Yeah, I honestly didn't think you did. To be honest. Yeah, I don't watch anime like that. Not like that. But my brother, he watched that thing like crazy. Him and a few of my peers, they watch it like crazy. I know you talking about LOL. Yeah. That's me with the weights. Getting rid of these weights, man. College puts a lot of weight on us, man. We all can relate. Whoever go to college, take it easy on yourself, man. If you in college right now, get ready to go to college, take it easy on yourself. College is a lot. It is really a lot. Enjoy the experience. If you are at a university, I really want you to start at a 2-year bridge to a 4-year. G said, yeah, I watch it, but I actually don't really get into it until I was an adult, with a few exceptions. Yeah. Real, yeah. But take it easy on yourself if you're in college, man. Like and subscribe. Even if you're here for a minute watching us, or you're here for the whole time, like and subscribe, because, guys, that helps us get the video pushed out a lot more. And that's going to help us reach more people. And we're going to answer some global questions soon. G, I had somebody ask me a question. I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up. I could tell you didn't. You was in them books, studying or reading. You was doing something, learning something. I could tell. And guys, I had a question from somebody. They haven't responded yet. I think they're in Vietnam, unless it was late night vibes. Yeah. I had a question for somebody. Like, those global questions are coming, guys. If you're asking me a question, you're from another country. I get questions from people in different countries. Guys, I'm coming with the global questions. I am coming. Give me some more time. I don't really fully understand global things yet, like different countries, higher education. Shoot, I'm still learning higher education in the American way. But the global questions, nice, gone global. Now G global. We ain't going G global yet, like Future. But we are trying to help the American side first. But I do get questions from people in the UK, Vietnam, and other places. What's the question? You can go look at it, G. It's on one of the recent live streams. You can go look at the question. And they asked the question. It was a very good question, actually. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It's definitely public. Let me see. I'm trying to think the fastest way to pull it up without leaving my... Yeah, I'll do this. Yep, that's what I'll do. And then I could leave the studio once it loads. And guys, we're going to talk about Iowa Regents in a minute. we are just going through our normal stuff, doing our sidebar conversation. And then at the end, if you stay to the end, we're going to do a review of a college. So you might hear your college get reviewed, you might not. So I'll do that, yeah. G so fast, G might say, I found it. Oh, you beat me to it. Let me see though. I should have to get to it faster though. Right here. So the question was, is there any chances for an international student from Vietnam? And that question, if they are watching, if my person is watching this, who asked that question, there's always a chance for you. I feel like with the current administration going on, I can see why that person asked that question. Is there any chances for an international student from Vietnam? I honestly understand that question. We got those questions a lot at Georgia Tech on my time there. When I was working there, you just have to see how can I put that? If I'm answering this correct, you just have to see what are the requirements, what's going on with the current administration. There's a lot of I want to say sticky like pathways in between when you're trying to get to school here in America. And so it's definitely a lot of things. Like definitely like they have to get you set up. I don't know. Each school is different. That's why I can't answer that directly. But definitely it's a lot of and plus we have people who specialize in that, to be exact. There are people who actually specialize in that department. It's called, what is that called? What is that position called? It's called I can Google it. Why am I breaking my head over it? It's called, I'm gonna just type it in. G said, with the current administration, not very likely. The biggest issue before was financial support because schools like Columbia. G said, one of our people in the chat said, with the current administration, not very likely. The biggest issue before was financial support because schools like Columbia were actually need aware for international students. But overall, it depends on the institution. Exactly. It depends on the institution. And so, and I would recommend calling the institution. Always call the college. You never know what institution and what they're doing. Always call the college. And the people who are there, I want to say, it's not I9. No. It's professionals that work in, yeah. Professionals. That's what I should say. Professionals that work in. I'm finna type in. Because I work with international students a lot. That's what they're called. You should try reaching out to international student advisor, a study abroad coordinator, somebody in that international lane, because those are the professionals in higher education. And that, once again, I want those people in the chat. I want those people here in this community because they do it every day at work. And so I know in my time at Georgia Tech, man, we had to get social security numbers for them. They had to get a social security number generated. It's crazy. Like the process is crazy. It's a lot. And then it goes into a whole lot of different forms of names, like that I don't know the name of actually, but a whole lot of forms that have like these names. Say they didn't really care where you were from, but they thought about how you could pay and if you could pay. G said, say they didn't really care where you were from, but they thought about how you could pay and if you could pay. Yeah, usually it's the money. Usually. Especially with, like we said, with the current administration, it's really more about money at this point to come here to America. And so, but man, those questions like that, man, like you said, G, it brings hope that we got people asking us questions from another country. You know, that's dope. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, G? Like, that's dope, man. I mean, we're going in the right direction when we talk about stuff on here. Because, you know, that gives them hope. Like simply a person. It sounds simple, but you know this, G. You know, like that person in that other country probably don't know. They can simply just contact the international office at an institution. Because many people didn't know that when I used to talk to them on the phone. When we had people trying to come from around the world. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we had people coming from around the world who want to go to Georgia Tech, China, Russia, Spain, all kinds of parts of the world, man. The list goes on. And they're asking questions about, like, they're like, I don't know. You know, they don't know. It's like a language barrier. I'm using translators sometimes through a phone. Man, like it was an experience for sure. And yeah, it's dope. It's dope. So Iowa Regents. So be on the lookout for me Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So Iowa Regents. I used to help folk students when I was in college. It's dope. I could tell, G. Because the answer you said was very accurate, too. Can I be honest with you, G? If you were trying to answer that and your answer was all the way off, I would have blocked you. I would have blocked you. I would have took you off the live screen. Funny fact. If your answer would always be, like, far off, and I'm like, I don't know what this person's talking about, I would have been like, no. I'm like, no, this person don't know. I know, like, answers when people don't know, sir. I'm like, but your answers be very accurate. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty accurate, yeah. That's what I would say. You answer the questions how a higher ed professional would answer them. Sometimes it's not a yes and it's not a no. It's like a, that direction. Yeah. Very, very, very. That's what you are supposed to do to keep down misinformation. Most people don't know that, G. Most people don't know that, though. That's the funny part about that. Most people just be... I was a higher ed professional if you didn't know, LOL. How are you... Man, G, you gotta be like 30. You gotta be like 30 or 35. You said we close to age, so you're not 35. You probably like 30, 32-ish, 31-ish. You might be 29. No, you like 28 or 20. You 28 to 30. I'm running with that. You don't have to answer it. I'm running with it. So Iowa Regents rewrite academic freedom policy. This was interesting to me. A little bit. I did it while in college. You did say that before. You think you got me figured out. I don't know. I ain't said it. I did not say that. Did you say it? Did you say that? I ain't said it. I ain't said it. Get a little hot in here, ain't it, G? Get a little hot, huh? So, Iowa Regents write academic freedom policy. Faculty members at the state public universities are now only allowed to teach controversial topics if they are connected to the course at hand and addressed in a way that fosters critical thinking and avoids indoctrination of one perspective. So, from what it sounds like, I must have been preemptive in my assumption. Preemptive in my assumption. G, that was very intelligent of you to way how you flowed that. Preemptive in my assumption. So Iowa Regents rewrite academic freedom policy. Once again, that's for that. I see you got your money in your hand. You know when I get my money in my hand. Money time. So when they said this, faculty, pretty much your instructors, are now allowed to teach controversial topics, guys. And if you're in Iowa Regents they made this happen. But let's go to the actual document. So this document is by Iowa Capitol Dispatch. This is by Brooklyn Drazy. Brooklyn Drazy. This was posted August 12th, 4:26 p.m. Iowa Board of Regents approved policy changes for academic freedom. That's dope. That's dope. So, guys, they're going to be talking about controversial topics. What can them controversial topics be? I don't know. But it's going to be like topics that I'm pretty sure we see on YouTube, like how Jubilee. Shout out to Jubilee. I like Jubilee a lot. I don't watch them, but I watch them for a little bit when I do get a little time, because busy people like us, we don't have time to watch Jubilee all day. Them interviews and conversations and conversations and stuff they talk about be lasting a long time. Like and subscribe, even if you're here for a minute. That's how we keep going. And so the instructors are allowed to teach controversial topics. But in order to teach these controversial topics, it cannot be taught from one perspective or presented in one perspective. It has to be presented to gain an all-around perspective. Cough G, that's the liberal arts major. I've been actually reading and watching a lot of criticism of Jubilee lately. Really? Don't do that. We can't go down that rabbit hole. Don't do that. But G, that's the liberal arts major right there. That's that. I know you went to liberal arts school, but that's that organizational leadership degree right there. Seeing things from multiple perspectives. That's that organizational leadership. So Regents also mandated that students' grades be determined by their understanding of the course content. So that's interesting. Real quick. Regents also mandated that students' grades be determined by their understanding of the course. Literally, guys, every college I went to, that's literally how my course has been. So I don't know what Iowa got going on. Maybe they just emphasizing it. But every course I took in my major from undergraduate to now, it's about my understanding. And why did I get this viewpoint? And can I back it up with data? In graduate school, can I back it up? G said, yeah, LOL, organizational leadership. Wasn't that your degree or operational administration? No, it was organizational leadership. Yeah, I don't know why when you said that you made me look bad. Yeah, it was organizational leadership. And so it's really important to know that. Like, I hope your instructors are doing it based on understanding and not right or wrong. I hate right or wrong instructors because that's very I don't even know the proper word for it, but that's not fair. I'm gonna say that's not fair because my perspective is not the same as my average professors. That's how school at the very least is supposed to be at the college level. Yeah, you talking about like it's supposed to be like understanding all perspectives, right, G? That's what you're talking about? Let me know. And so they adopted the policy months after debating a draft that would have restricted universities from requiring students to take courses with substantial content that conveys critical race theory. Whoa, let's go back. They adopted the policy months after debating a draft that would have restricted universities from requiring students to take courses with quotations, substantial content that conveys critical race theory or diversity, equity, inclusion. The lone regent to reject the measure, one regent to reject the measure criticized it for including vague terms like controversial without explaining how course content could be deemed so. So I guess they can talk about DEI and stuff. That's how it's coming off. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Let me know. Because that's given like they are going to be talking about DEI and things of that nature. So G said, wow. Hold on real quick. I'm going to put that in there right there, G. Diversity and inclusion. Like and subscribe. Hold on right quick. All right. So let me know. Because it's given like that's what they're going to be talking about. They adopted the policy months after debating a draft that would have restricted universities from requiring. So I guess they are going to be taking courses on DEI and critical race theory. I took a few courses on that at my graduate level. So G said, interestingly enough, Columbia actually has a talking point that I kind of don't necessarily disagree with about why they teach classical ed as their core. Huh. Interesting. G said they have multiple perspectives approach. The issue is that places like Florida want to talk about the benefits of slavery. Yeah, that's that southern education for you. That's that southern education. That is that southern education for you. That is that southern education for you, man. So you see, I'm counting them right now. You already see it. You see who face on it. You see who face on it. This is what people go crazy over. People go crazy over this face right here. They go crazy for this. It's fake. It's not real. It's fake. It's fake. It looks real, don't it? I know. Keeps me cool. I know. People go crazy for this. I don't know why. They go crazy for it. They need it. Columbia has a classical starting point. They say they use a springboard of other perspectives and cultures. That's dope. You talked about the classical education last time, too. The classical education sounds really interesting to me, though. Sounds interesting. Seems like that's why everybody has an understanding of everybody's perspectives, while other schools don't do that. Other schools are just trying to adapt that, though. I never took a DEI course. She said, I never took a DEI course. I'm telling you, G, a DEI course is just understanding others. You have taken one, G. It's in, G, a DEI course is in you already. You as a human being, you already have it. DEI courses for people who don't understand others' backgrounds and situations. That's all it is. You learn that in your classical education. When you went to Columbia, they taught you that naturally. It's in the curriculum naturally. Like you said before, it's in the curriculum. Like that's all it is. That's what they should have called it. They should have called it, instead of DEI course, they should call it classical education course or something. That's what they should call it. Because, and G said a lot of highly selective universities have core curriculums. Columbia just had by far the most strong. Yeah. Classes were extremely discussion based. Yeah. We actually talked about that. There's studies on that too, about doing core ed in the beginning, like that. Those type of classes in the beginning. That's part of like a specific for the school, like the school doing that. It's really, they talk about that often. So a little bit more back by Iowa though. Good talks. So they're talking about the big difference between they're talking about why they passed this pretty much in the article. I feel like we covered a lot of it because I'm looking at some of it. That's something that kind of turns people off from Columbia. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, back to. No, that's interesting though. That turns people off about going to Columbia. It's interesting. Wow. Back to the show. He said hello. Back to the show. No, we good, G. I let them know I'll be on my own conversations. Those conversations needed. Different type of education when we talk about higher education. Just remember, start a 2-year college, bridge to a 4-year. You start a 2-year college, you might can get into Columbia. You might can go to Ivy League. Schools right now, they need transfer students because they liking the international students right now due to the current administration. So it might be good for you to transfer to a bigger school right now to make up for that money they missing. FYI. You never know what type of scholarships and stuff you might get. Bigger schools apparently got more money to give you more opportunity to go there. So that's what we've been hearing through the grapevines, right? So I'm gonna go straight to the Regents express feelings on academic freedom. We don't really need to know like why they rejected the policy, because if we know anything about people on boards and politicians, it's just them arguing and wasting time most of the time. That's all it is. So it says right here, Regents express feelings on academic freedom. This is in Iowa. So as I said before, if you are new, every place has their own state university system in each state. So this is Iowa's. Iowa Regent Robert Kramer during the meeting said it is his personal belief that DEI and critical race theory topics shouldn't be taught in classrooms because it is unhelpful to students who should be told their progress was due. Unhelpful to students who should be told their progress was due to their merit and not other reasons. Schools should look at individuals and treat them all the same and give them that equal chance to succeed. Kramer said, no matter their race or where they're from. No matter their race or where they came from. And that's where it don't make sense, man. Like, you say, like, everybody has a fair equal chance, but everybody doesn't have a fair equal chance, though, at the same time. Like, this kid can afford a trainer, this kid can't afford a trainer. But this kid has to go against this kid in the game. And luckily, sometimes the kid who had no trainer can beat the kid who had a trainer. But in academics, it's a little different, though, man. Like, academics is different. Like, you can still be smarter than somebody who has tutors and stuff, or more intellectual, you know. But it's just not the same. Like, I can't defend that. Like, no matter how more advanced I gain in life and advance myself, I just can't forget that, because I just know what it feels like to not have the resources. G said exactly. A lot of time people say that under the assumption that everything else is fair, when in actuality that is not fair from truth. I think he said far from the truth. Far from the truth. Yeah, that is far from the truth. Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting. Like, and I'm nonpartisan on that, but it's just not a fair. It's not a fair beginning. Realistically, it's not. That's not fair. Because I got little cousins right now who are still in those environments, and it's just not a fair start. Like, no matter how you paint it. Now, could the parents, like, in those environments, make it better for them? But how can your parent make it better for you if they don't know what's going on? Like, people really think that people just know things. Like, people don't know things. Like, Common App, if you go to my city right now and talk to kids, guidance counselors, in my city where I'm from, they don't know about that. I put money on it, they don't know about it. And if they do, they not from that city. Or, like, most people who work in the city I'm from grew up in the city. So the information circulates. The same information is circulating. Things they shouldn't know. Like, the average person in my city, the average person in my city I'm from, the average person does not believe the stock market is real. Disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Being real. The average person. I'm telling you, they don't think it's real. It's crazy. people, hey, man. Hey. And then right here, this is by Kramer again. My personal belief is that we don't want, I don't want any of the DEI, CRT, critical race theory, woke left stuff, being taught in our classes, Kramer said. But I understand the difficulty of trying to dictate what's being taught. And I think we do believe in academic freedom and, of course, freedom of speech. So I think addressing how things are taught is the right path. There you go. I knew you'll come around, Kramer. So they will be talking about things of those natures in that class. We're in Iowa. So if you are looking to go to school in Iowa and talk about how those conversations, those are going to be great conversations to have. So one of them, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that on this live screen. These people are trying to get me in trouble. I'm not saying that. They're talking about something in Germany, though, that happened back in the day. That's all I'm going to say. But it's something that you would love to talk about on the live screen. Like, I'm not going to talk about it now because it can go down a rabbit hole. But definitely controversial topics that I enjoyed having those conversations in class. Because in school now, graduate school, we have conversations that I know we probably can't have. Like, you can have them on this platform, don't get me wrong, but then again, I don't know. Because, like, all these trigger words and stuff going around, I don't know. But if I'm feeling like talking about it one day, I would talk about it. But right now, I don't want to talk about that. And so, but I love those conversations, man. Like, hearing them from both sides. As we talked about G, we talked about, like, the dark leaders and the light leaders. Like, I love those conversations because you can learn something from all people if they had the wrong intentions of them. That's why I like watching those videos on YouTube a little bit, FYI. So G said, exactly. But keeping in mind, like I said before, things like affirmative action was never meant to give a certain people a leg up, but an opportunity to give more context to their background and what they bring to campus. It's also not about making people feel bad, which is another talking point. You should say it, but you ain't got to say it. LOL. I understand. I appreciate that, G. I appreciate that. As we keep going, getting bigger, we will. We definitely will. Trust me. We ain't holding nothing back. Every topic is a good topic to talk about. You know, because it's gonna be professionals. I come on here when I interview them. They're gonna talk about things that's gonna be like, oh, they said that. And I'm gonna be like, hey, at the end of the day, the information gotta get out. So kind of thing right there. But that's pretty much it with the Iowa Regents. They're bringing it to the campus. And I think I seen your question, G. You said what they're bringing to campus. What they bring to campus. They're bringing the critical race theory and the DEI courses. But it won't be they won't write it down as that way. That's why they call it academic freedom, right? They're going to be talking about other topics, of course. But in Iowa, it's okay. Like, if you want to go to school and you want to have these conversations, these controversial conversations, Iowa is talking about them. Iowa is talking about them. And so that's not, and you know, like some places, if you, like you said, G, if you go to school in Florida, if we just being honest, if you go to school in Florida, the state of Florida, you most likely won't have these conversations or know about these things. Because I have peers who actually go to school in Florida and they don't know nothing about history. Like, they don't know nothing about the history of slavery. They don't know nothing about history, like they don't know anything pretty much about American history that was bad. Let's say that. They don't know anything about that. They don't know they didn't know about the KKK. They didn't know about none of that. And it's just like, it's crazy how you don't know nothing about none of that. Plantations, like everything that pretty much America was built on, they don't know. Like the Native Americans, like they know a little bit about that. One of them know a little bit about it, but they don't know like the deep context of everything, like the assimilations and the how we got to this point, like how we was talking about Jim Thorpe, like things like that. Like, so yeah. G said, I honestly never cared for those types of targeted courses. However, we did have those hard conversations and those discussion based classes. Well, that's because I'm the South a lot. I'm in the South a lot. Places teach the Civil War as a states' rights issue. Yeah, Civil War, like things that just part of American. Like, how can you not? You got to talk about all this stuff is connected because it's literally like what we're living out now, and so like. Yeah, like the Civil War, you can't mention missing pieces of the Civil War. You can't do that. You have to mention all factor parts of it because everything literally played a role into everything today. And so that's like, once again, going back to education, if you're going to make investments in companies today, you need to understand the history of companies. Like, because if you don't understand certain parts of the history that you might think that's not important, it's gonna hurt you. Trust me, I feel like it's gonna hurt you. And so that's just me. And I'm glad I understand my history because I get a lot of that type of history. All my history, I get it from my TT. Like, get it from your older people. That's the best history we talk about all the time. Get it from people who lived in those times. Like, no matter who and what they look like, get the history from them. Get all parts. Even if this sounds like, I don't know. Everybody has a perspective of what they went through in history or in life. Everybody has their own perspective. That's one thing I like. Life is all perspective. I think somebody said that before. Who said that? Somebody said that. If they didn't, I said it. But I think somebody said that before. Life is all about perspective. Somebody say that. People say that all the time. But it is. Life is all about perspective. And it's about who lived to tell the story of that perspective. Like and subscribe. And G said, before we do our college review, G said, well, that's what I was saying. Florida literally wants to teach students the good side of slavery. It was a big thing a while ago. Yeah, I didn't even hear about that. I don't want to say they are attempting to misconstrue history, but to soften the blow. Yeah. It's a lot of going on into it. I don't know what Florida got going on, which I think is worse. Yeah, like I said, I got folks from Florida, so yeah, I got folks from Florida. So, hey, Florida, hey, I ain't got no beef with you. I got folks from Florida because it makes people think. It makes people think it wasn't as bad as it was. Yeah, it do make them think that. It makes them think that a lot. It does. And it's all perspective once again. It makes them think that, and then same with the same thing that happened in Germany. Yep, yep, yep. You see, G? That's what see, G, we get each other. We get it. We get it. We get it. But guys, this is all just because Iowa Regents were talking about this stuff, guys, and they talked about some harder blow stuff in there that I didn't even say, but they were talking about these things in it. So that's why we came on this topic. Then you have stuff happening in the Middle East, and people look past it. Don't put G on debating. G gonna cook you. Well, put me and G on the same team. We can cook. We can cook. We can cook. We can cook. Don't be a ball hog on our debate team, G. I feel like you're trying to ball hog the debates. Don't ball hog the debates. Don't ball hog. Don't ball hog the debates, G. I'm from the South, so we like to cook. That's a bar. That's a bar. That's a bar. We from the South, so we like to cook. That's a bar right there. That's a bar. That's a bar. I ain't no ball hog. If anything, you gonna want to pass it to me. Exactly, so you can score. I'm gonna rack up the assists. Exactly. That's usually what happens. Provide the school. As I type. But I love letting people do their thing. I could tell. I could tell. We did that school already. No, we did that one. Another one. G, have we done the University of Tulsa? Have we talked about the University of Tulsa? Let me know. I don't think we did. Where's that located? I don't think we have. At least in my circles. Now you haven't LOL, but I love letting people do their thing. I'm known for it, LOL, at least in my circles. That's a great trait to have. People don't understand. You could be a ball hog and friends, circle of friends. Nope, at least not on any live I've been on. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember doing University of Tulsa. Because oh, no. No. What you said? It's in you guessed it, Tulsa. Did I say that right though? Tulsa? I did say that right? Let me see. The University of Tulsa. Nah, I don't think we did Tulsa. Kind of, but I don't think it matters. Jeez, I don't think it matters. Shout out to G right there. The University of Tulsa. Nah, we ain't do this school. We could do it though. It's in Oklahoma for sure. Cause they say that's what they. Yeah. What you doing in there? Should be laying down. You gotta take that to work tomorrow? You should have said that before I did this. I ain't know it was today. I ain't know you had to take it tomorrow. Well, I'm about to be done. Where is... Okay. Let's do it. On the money right now. We in Tulsa, so you know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. It involves Wall Street. That's all I'm gonna say. What's this? Wall Street. You know, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. So, University of Tulsa. They have only, wow, for a university, they do not have that many students. They only got like 2,500 students. I'm giving them the extra students because it's 2447. They only have about 2,500 students. That is low for it to be a university. That's pretty low. Oh. Oh. So University of Tulsa, they are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The colors are all kinds of colors. They have an endowment of 1.3 billion. Really 1.4 billion. The application fee is $50. That's good to know. I didn't know Google had that. That's pretty interesting. So let's keep going. Now I'm gonna type in their tuition and fee rate. Tuition and fee. What G said? Nothing happened in 1911. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in 1911. Clip it. Please clip it. Post it. Nothing happened in 1911. Nope. Nope. Nothing. Nothing happened. It's trolling. Trolling. Nothing happened. I want to see how many people react to it. People ain't gonna watch the whole video, G. They just gonna watch that one part and come get me. Undergraduate. All right. Good. That's actually good. You are on kind of go. Nah, you know me. I get myself canceled so quick. Instagram already canceled me. So, hey, you know. Okay, so we just seen this word too, G. Man, and I do not know how to say it again. I keep saying this word so much. I'm finna play it out loud.
Presbyterian.
So the University of Tulsa it's known as a special destination for a Presbyterian church. It's a 4-year. It's a private non-profit. I did not know that. I didn't know the University of Tulsa was private. Did not know that. It's in the city. It has medium amount of students. The graduation rate here is 71%. It's over the 4-year mark of 58%. The average annual cost to go here is $24,000. Now, guys, to be honest with you, remember the College Scorecard always knock down the prices because they feel like you will get some type of scholarship, you'll get some type of Pell or whatever benefits or scholarship, merit, whatever to go there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, to go to the University of Tulsa is $51,000 rounded. It's $51,000 for fall 2025 to spring 2026. It's $51,000 rounded. That include wrong. The tuition is $51,000 rounded. But if you include room and board, your student service fee, your university fee, you're looking at about $69,000 to go to this school total for the year. You have to divide that by 2, and for 2 semesters, that's pretty much $35,000. So yeah, if you stay on campus, you're done. You're cooked. But if you even stay off campus and you just pay the tuition, you're even more cooked. Now, guys, before I even say this school easily is out of my list, but I really just gotta let me just do this real quick. With tuition alone at the University of Tulsa, 51,000 times 4. If you graduate in 4 years, you're looking at 204,000 easily in tuition and fees alone. Now, if you stay on campus for 4 years, Lord, I hope your parents got the money. Better have the money. Times 4 is 277,000. So you need this is pretty much the same price as Ivy Leagues. G, help me out. Is the University of Tulsa Ivy that I don't know about? You know, I'm gonna go back and make sure I didn't miss anything. Not at all, LOL. Okay. Just want to make sure because don't want to misjudge a school. You know. Okay. Let's keep going. It has a 58% acceptance rate. Exactly. Their salary, they're saying you can get this. Okay, the salary guys are saying that you can make potentially after being 10 years removed from the institution as a financial aid student. They're saying you can make they're saying you can make 62 grand. Okay. Exactly. I was about to say 100, and now I see what you said. Okay. So they're saying you can make 62 grand after being 10 years removed from the institution, but that's on the median. So you can either be making over 62 grand or you can make it under 62 grand after being 10 years removed from the institution, possibly. So guys, I'm gonna be honest with you right now up front. I literally seen schools like the Columbias, the Northwesterns, the NYUs charge about these prices, but their salary potential is like 98 grand, 96 grand. This school right here is 61 grand, but they're charging like the same prices as these Ivies. That's why I'm comparing it to an Ivy, because they're private too, and they're a nonprofit. So let's keep going. Their graduation and retention rate. We said their graduation rate was a 71. That's a C average on a 100% scale. Their students who return after their first year is 85%. That's a B. Their financial aid, you're going to have a minimum of pretty much like $21,500 in student loan debt on average. 36% of their students receive federal loans. That is what they're saying. Typical earnings. You do have an 81% chance of making more than a high school graduate. That is what they're saying. Okay. Test scores. G had mentioned this, but it is true. The University of Tulsa has a 58% acceptance rate. That is they're being kind of selective. It's a private school, but the University of Tulsa considers admission test scores during the application process, but they do not require them. I know why they don't require them, because they charging you like I said, like 70 grand to go to the school. They charge you like 60, 70 grand a year to go here. So I know they don't care about no test scores. They better not. And students who were admitted to University of Tulsa and enrolled typically had admission test scores in these ranges. So they're talking about what you can make in these ranges and go to the school. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's go see what G said real quick before I do this review. G said, not at all, LOL. It has 58% acceptance rate. That's extremely high for an elite school, which is why it is not. Yeah, for an elite school, and they're not an elite school. And guys, they're charging you probably like 300, 200 or something, if I'm not mistaken. What's my calculator at? They're charging you like almost $300,000 to go here. So I don't really know who are they noble alumni, real quick before we go. University of Tulsa, noble alumni. Before y'all get this rating, I'm about to say, they are an F. Yeah, they noble alumni. Like, nah, bro. I don't know any of these, and I'm very diverse. I don't know any of these noble alumni. Yeah, they are F. Big F. Capital F. F gang. F. And G even said that, yeah, they charging elite school prices. Yeah, and they not even an elite school at all. Are they even there was A golden girl that went there though. That's a plus. Yeah, that's a plus. If plus if plus if. Oh man, not again. Back to back. Oh man, not again. So yeah, they are if man. This school, I wouldn't boast this school. They can redeem themselves if they want to, but like, is this school even a research school? Like, Dr. Phil went to the no, no, we're not even gonna play this. We're not even about to play this. I don't know how you feel about him. Dr. Phil is Dr. Phil. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm really doing my best before I already said they're F, but man, they're F. Like, I'll eat this bullet if they are better than what they perceive to be, I guess. But they have to come on here and redeem themselves. I want the university president to come over here and come on this live stream and tell me why they charge these prices. Somebody gonna have to answer these questions. So yeah, they are an F. I would not recommend going here because if I transfer to this school, I would have 100K. I would have 100K in student loan debt most likely if I transfer here because I transferred from a 2-year. I did my first 2 years, right? Cool, good, whatever. But I'm about to be looking at paying 50 grand a year if I went to this school or if I got in. So, and you know me, guys, I like to keep things between my $2,000 to $3,000 max purchasing power. I'm not going here. And I would give them a better grade if they were considered an elite institution, but they're not even seeming to be elite. I'm not really seeing anything they're known for, really. Like they got a law school, but those are not even law school prices. That was their undergraduate prices. Like, but it's a private school as well, so yeah, it's still F because private schools ain't safe. They might be under budget constraints for all we know. So that is Tulsa, the University of Tulsa, and yeah, based on undergraduate. This is not based on their law school, their medical schools, or any of that. This is based strictly on their undergraduate. So, yes. What's his name? Jordan Clarkson went there. Jordan Clarkson. Did he really? Jordan Clarkson. I really appreciate you, G, because I don't watch basketball no more, but I know Jordan Clarkson. But did he really go there? Oh, he did go there, and then he transferred to the University of Missouri. Interesting. Oh, of course, an athlete went there. Could he go there before he was in the NBA? No, probably not. Probably didn't even know the prices. I'm roasting athletes a little bit. Hey guys, I was in that circle. I'm sorry, but just being a little honest. I'm just being honest. Future Hendricks, shout out to Future. I like Future. So that is all for tonight. Hello, I guess that doesn't do it for you. That doesn't. They doesn't. They was got to have some, just a yeah. But that's all for tonight. Appreciate you, G. Won't be on tomorrow. We won't. We'll be back strong on Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. And so have a safe weekend, G. Man, G, if you need me a live stream randomly, just put something in the comment section. If you need me to live stream, I'll come like Batman. And then I'll just send a back call if you need me to come live stream. I appreciate that too. I will. And then if you need me to come live stream randomly, I'll come like the back call. Just put it in the comment section. Just say, peace and chicken grease. I'm coming. I'm coming to the rest. I'm coming. And your party for your mom or whatever y'all do. I hear you, LOL. Yeah. 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 Right. All right. See Tuesday. Peace. Chicken grease. I just be doing that sometimes. I just be doing that.